United States, it's quite mainstream. Remember, this country's way off the spectrum in religious extremism. And I'm not even talking about the extremism of those who think who believe in the religion that markets know best. That's the worst religion we can talk about. But about 2/3 of the population is waiting for the second coming, and about half of them expect it in their own lifetime, and about half think the world was created a couple thousand years ago, and it sort of goes on like that. This is a long story in American history, long reasons for it, but this was never an active political force before. However, it's becoming that. It's one of the sectors that the remnants of the Republican Party can mobilize now that they've abandoned any pretense of being a political party. And the other major sector, which has also always been there, is nativists, and people who are kind of trembling with fear and hatred about somebody's going to come and take everything away from us, and so on and so forth. That's also a strain that goes way back. A lot of ugly repercussions. You know them here, in fact. But it was not really mobilized as a major political force until recently. Now it is. It's connected to another development, which is in fact objectively correct, namely that whites are soon to become minority. So you get the Republican Senate House leader wailing that they're taking that country away from it. We're supposed to be our country. And this is a real sentiment that's been mobilized. And that's why you get what you see in the Republican debates, which the world is looking at with kind of amazement. I don't believe this is going on. But if you think about the options available to a political organization that's given up pretending to be a political party and it's just working, for the 1%, if you like, they don't have a lot of choices. And they actually have a tiger by the tail. It's very clear that the Republican establishment and the big money, most of it, wants Romney. But the constituencies they've mobilized want anyone but Romney. It's too close to sanity. How close they're close enough for the establishment to want. So every time somebody comes up, whoever it may be, there's a flood of money that pours in to destroy them with attack ads. So you're getting this oscillation that's been going on. And as I say, they may not be able to control it. When you mobilize constituencies like that, they may get out of control. Actually, we have historical examples which aren't so pretty. So, for example, German industrialists in the early 30s figured they could control the Nazis. Well, it didn't turn out that way. These are dangerous developments. The Democrats have their own problem. They've abandoned the white working class almost completely. That's used to be their main constituency. And all of this is turning electoral politics into racial politics. If you look at the statistics on how people identify themselves, it's pretty frightening. Could turn out very ugly. Well, let's go back to the monograph, EPI monograph, Failure by Design. They pointed out, the analysts, that it's not a failure for everybody. It's not a failure for the designers, of course, 1%. They're doing splendidly. It is a failure for the 99% to keep the imagery, and it's a failure for the country, which is declining, to be part of what's called American decline, and for future generations. These are just burdens being handed down to our children.